Welcome to this week's episode of the CEO Show, taking a very specific look at how the leaders in our country dealt with the COVID-19 outbreak and curfew that lasted 2 months. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Saroshi Dubash. She's a group leader at Abans Group of Companies. Good morning to you, Doctor. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Very happy to have you on the show today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. All right, so we'll just jump right into it as we do, because we have this rule, we stick to 15 minutes. So let's make it happen. Okay, so looking at how the country was impacted during these last months, what kind of leadership do you think was required by our upper management during this time? What would have been ideal, and what did you see happen?
I think we had a lot of communication between us at that point, and we had many conference calls, and we had to lead from the top to a great extent because nobody had encountered this situation before, and it was all new. We found that interpersonal conversations on the phone much more effective than before because we didn't have the disturbance of a normal working environment. So we were able to concentrate more fully, and we hope, and we are continuing this method even now, even though we are coming to the office. Yeah.
Right. You found yourself to be more productive.
Yes.
Do you think that, in particular, your company, moving forward, that renting office space might actually reduce and that you'll have more people working from home?
Yes, we are encouraging people to work from home. And of course, we are thinking of it as also cutting costs on the office space by doing that.
It seems to make sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
More
Yes.
productive, less expensive. It does make
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
In terms of your personal experience, on a very personal note, how was it working from home? Did you find it relaxing and less stressful?
In some ways, but in some ways not, because you couldn't control the interruptions. But it was more. I found that I was more able to concentrate on my on the matters at hand and do a more effective job. Yeah.
Right. Moving forward, how do you think Sri Lanka needs to prepare? Now, there is rumor that there'll be a second wave. How do you think Sri Lanka should use this time before that second wave hits to be prepared?
Yes, every company should really upgrade their websites and be able to supply their goods online, and the banks also should try to help people to pay online and get a good online presence in every case to go forward with this if the second wave strikes.
Right. How do you feel the economy in Sri Lanka was impacted? Now, you've been back to work for a couple of weeks now. Are you seeing the consequences?
Yes,
what's it looking like?
very different and very stressful at the moment because we have just opened after 2 months of leisure, as it were, and a whole lot of problems have come up, and there is some of our businesses are having trouble, so that we have to cut costs and continue. We have put an effective plan into place, and we are going according to that plan. So I think we will be able to survive.
We always do as a country, don't we? We get
Yes.
knocked down, but we always stand up.
Yes.
What sort of timeline have you personally projected in terms of maybe the global economy and Sri Lanka's economy recovering? How many months, years, what sort of timeline do you think it will take?
I think there will be the effect will probably last maybe a year or so, and if there is no second wave, then I think by the time the year is ended, we would be back on our feet, because the Sri Lankan people are very resilient, and even after the bomb blast last year, we were just picking up when the coronavirus problem came up.
That's so true. The timing was
Yes.
actually quite astounding, wasn't it? We were
Yes.
just about to celebrate
Yes.
an incredible recovery as a country, and
Yes.
we found
As a
ourselves.
country and as the business also, we were recovering very well. But unfortunately, this coronavirus matter happened.
And I think we can celebrate the fact that the 2 months, gosh, now this would be a point that working from home and having conference calls, somebody started construction in the background. But I think we can celebrate the fact that within a year we stood up and stood strong, and the future is always, hopeful. And I think
Yes.
we have incredible leaders in our country that will make that happen. Well, Mrs. Dr. Dubash, I thank you for your time. I know this construction is quite distracting, so we'll say thank you for joining us on the show, and we wish you all the very best for the coming year and for the
Thank you
future.
very much.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.